It's October 11th. Such a beautiful evening. Well, last night people saw the northern lights. They saw them all over the northern hemisphere. I guess we had a solar flare. I tried to see them, but when I went out, it was just a beautiful moonlit night, but I didn't see the aurora borealis. Look at the colors in the sky. Hello, moon. When y'all were little, you loved the Goodnight Moon books. That's a classic. Yeah, beautiful night for being on a boat. Calm waters, mild temperatures. A lot of people started getting their sweatshirts out and their jackets. It's really not that cold, but when we change seasons, it feels colder because we've shifted from the hot summer days to the cooler fall days. I still like wearing my shorts and t-shirt when it's like this, but some people, it's funny, they're there when we're right at this kind of marginal temperatures. Some people bundle up like it's wintertime, and other people enjoy it just like it is. The difference in people. Where the world's made up of all kinds of people. And on some days I'm just surprised at how much goodness there is in the world. And other days I'm surprised about how many awful things happen in the world. I don't know. I like to think that when you really look at it, when people are in, it's got a lot to do with the environment that we have created for ourselves. And that's so important, especially, it varies from culture to culture. People sort of feel, a certain way and have a certain stability depending on the kind of social environment that they have, and even the natural environment and other factors too play a role in this. But based on the culture that they're most familiar with, and that plays a certain amount of importance in having a society that's mostly honest and generally at peace with one another. But in the United States, at least I feel like right now the United States it was a country that was founded on people fighting for freedom and rights that take a lot of effort to maintain. When you look at the history of the world in general, more often than not, societies are ruled by authoritarianism rather than by protected rights of a constitution, or but so people had to fight the king to earn the freedom of this country, and now we have to fight to maintain those rights, or the protection of those rights. We have the rights granted to us by God. Some people don't want to agree with that, but that's really the fundamental philosophy behind rights, is that they are ours, they're God-given, and that when we have authoritarianism, that's a infringement on the rights. So but it causes a lot of turmoil too when a small group of people want to take over the the foundational principles of the country, and it, along with lots of other things, causes a lot of very disturbing behaviors in our society. And then you see it with money and power. As people gain money and power, sometimes it magnifies the good that they do, and on the other hand, for other group of people, it magnifies their the bad things that they will do. But what it's doing is it's putting them in a place where they think that they're above any kind of law or being held accountable for ethical and moral depravity. And there's mistakes that people make, and then they I don't know, change their ways or ask for forgiveness, or that's part of being human. But then there's people who just hey, how are you? Who go to an extreme with these kinds of abusive and immoral ways of living, and they suck other people in. And we've just recently have really been seeing a lot of that kind of become uncovered in our country. So, but you see these things in wars, and you see them in the history books, and it's always going on. It's just so surprising that there is so much of that in society, and it just causes so much pain to everybody. It's kind of I don't know. It's kind of strange to think that we as humans will give in to the short-term. What's happening is people have some sort of a short-term form of pleasure from some of these things, in lieu of the long-term happiness from doing right things to one another. People will go to the point of just, hurting the life of another person to feed a lack of fulfillment in their being, in their life. Yeah, I don't know, but I know one thing. When I really look around, though, and you got to think on a daily basis, and you just look around at generally people when we have a stable economy and a stable society, that most of what people are doing every day is in some sense good, or very good. And when you really look at it on the whole, it's just that the bad things seem to have so much. There's kind of a saying, I forget exactly, but for like every 10 good things, one bad thing can undo 10 good things, or something like that. These bad things just seem to be so awful, and so that I don't know. But I know when I look out at a day like this and an evening like this, so much to be thankful for, and I look at the people walking around, and they're just doing what's good in life, and that's enjoying nature and being happy to be here, you know, being grateful for life and for living. So the best thing for each one of us is to first just set our own compasses in the right direction. That would do the most for the world, as if we could all just set all of our compasses to the right direction. Oh, but just because somebody messes up once, whether it's me or you or anybody, you know, that's part of life, and we know that we can ask for forgiveness, and we can better ourselves. That's one of the really important principles of life. But and sometimes even just messing up once means you still have to be willing to make amends with society, by society's rules. That might be like, I don't know, it could be something very simple, you know, like some simple form of punishment, or sometimes we do some things that are more serious and we have to pay a higher price for that. But as long as we're trying to better ourselves and we don't mess up too severely, that's just to be part of life. What we don't want to do is get into a habitual way of treating people or doing things that is wrong. In other words, we're not growing and getting better, or we're putting the wrong things as our priorities in life, and that leads a lot of people to just continuously do bad. It's been written about a lot, and it's been talked about a lot. From the Bible and the classic works of philosophy, and on and on and on. These are things that have been written about. Humans have continuously needed to write about them and remind one another about these things, so that we can keep trying to steer the whole ship towards the right direction, so we can all love one another in the right way, and help one another, and, you know, be conscientious of one another's positions in life, and that we're all in this together. Well, anyhow, look how beautiful it is. Sun is going down earlier these days. I love you.